Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 3 with me, Break It Down. Let's continue exploring the high security vault and speak to Edvige.
First time the vault's been breached the entire time I've worked here. I hope this won't affect my bonus.
Very well.
Well, my prayers weren't much bloody use.
Bloody better not be coming out of my wages.
Another, is it?
I think it's a little odd that Glitterbeard doesn't care that I'm taking all this stuff, but... I'm not going to complain. Shield Steward, interrogation log, scroll or letter. Transcript of key passage and the interrogation of Flovis Nuge, steward of the Knights of the Shield Hall. We've read this. The Astral Prism Heist.
Breathe.
Gortash Private Memoir Notes number 16. The Astral Prism Heist.
Bloody jobs.
After that dream I had about the Githyanki threat to our accelerated grand design, my research led me to pore through the old archives left behind in Moonrise Towers by the High Heralds. These records included some surprising early sources, both Githyanki and Githzerai. They mentioned a relic or artifact called the Astral Prison or Prism. Though the source of its power was unstated, this artifact was reputed to be able to project a field that disrupted illithid psionics. Such an artifact would clearly be an existential threat to both our absolute ambitions and the grand design. All three of the ancient sources agreed that the Astral Prism was in the hands of the Githyanki Lich Queen Vlaakith. Thus was born the plan to send a tadpole strike team and a regrown Nautiloid, piloted by the Emperor to steal the Astral Prism from Vlaakith.
Maybe Nina still needs a cracked skull.
So the Emperor
Less drama working
was the one
for
piloting
my
the
skull.
Nautiloid. I thought it looked like him because he had the same really tall collar. But a lot of the Mind Flayers look very similar, so.
Never gonna balance.
To take control.
I'm a dead man.
Gortash Private Memoir Notes number 9. To take control. We're deep in Mephisto's vault, burgling the crown of Karsus, when I saw next to the crown that the wily Archdevil had a portfolio labeled Accelerated Grand Design. I couldn't resist taking that as well. The portfolio contained plans compiled by a mad Alhoon known only as Blue Apex, for a version of the Illithid Resurgence. A grand design that called for mass tadpoling of both friends and enemies, but not to convert the tadpole into mind flayers, but rather to suspend that ceremorphosis under powerful magic to create a vast and unconscious hive mind commanded by an enhanced elder brain. My mind, trained in the tyrannical tenets of Bane, instantly saw that this was a means to perpetrate a powerful religious hoax, a mass movement controlled ultimately by none other than myself. For who but the chosen of Bane could master so grand a scheme?
A crooked touch. I could shift next year's interest to this year.
If I'd have known there was that much coin back here, I'd have robbed the place myself.
Just
Ravenguard Scourger.
breathe. Breathe.
It's a +2 Morningstar. It grants Commander's Strike. Direct an ally to strike a foe. The ally uses a reaction on their next turn to make a weapon attack. It has Tenacity. A Duke Ravenguard's father was a sort of man who works with his hands and communicates in grunts. In his heart, his son vowed to do better. But when Will was born, Ravengard felt a strange gravity that drew him away from his son. A Father's Diary. This is a worn and much-handled journal in which older Ravengard recorded his favorite memories of his beloved son Will. A typical entry follows. 15 Flame Rule. Spent the afternoon with Will on the docks down by the Water Queen's house, relaxing on the planks, though the harbor fogs followed the sun as usual. Will asked if the temple wave servants were real mermaids. I told him they certainly looked the part, but real mermaids could breathe underwater and rarely show their faces above it. Then I'm going to swim down and catch one, he shouted, and dove off the end of the dock. He kept trying to hold his breath and stay under the surface, but eventually he got exhausted and I had to haul him out, minus his new shoes, alas. But I'll never forget his smile as he said, "I saw one, Father. I saw a mermaid. A real mermaid." And his eyes grew misty and he added, "She was beautiful."
And anyway,
Oh, actually, do I have the keys for these? No. At least not that one.
Bloody better not be coming out of my wages.
Well, my prayers weren't much bloody use.
why don't I just bloody give you the keys, eh? You could take my office.
Is he talking to me? Trident of the Waves. It's a +1 trident. Grants the water collar. On a hit, create a 7-foot water surface centered around the target. That's interesting. Was it the water sparklers? The name of the boots that create electric surface when you're standing in water?
Just breathe.
Umberlee, the goddess of the sea, is deeply capricious, intelligent, not nearly as wet around the edges as her domain might suggest.
I'm never going to
She often demands sacrificial tribute from sailors, such as their ships, their cargo, and while she's at it, them.
tread lightly. What do you think you're... Oh, go on. What bloody difference does it make?
It's so weird he doesn't care.
Maybe Nina's
The long arm of the Gur grants Revenant Scourge. When used against undead creatures, this weapon has a plus 1d4 bonus to attack and damage rolls, and it's a +2. I wonder if we should bring this on Astarian's quest.
So Minsk has turned to the absolute.
When the boy was 7, he was frightened badly by a vampire spawn during the public burning. Seized by the flames, the creature didn't shrivel up. It swelled and burst like a squeezed leech. Rain splattered the boy's shoes, gray, pink, and pulpy. He would never forget it.
Wait a minute, though. I could shift next year.
Give the Shadow Heart for now.
This year.
Because she doesn't do a ton of damage with her spear.
bloody better not be coming out of my wages.
Janet's hat
My
grants
prayers
advantage
weren't
on persuasion
much
checks
bloody
and
use.
deception checks. The corner of modern fashion that this hat currently occupies might well be called optimistic. Perfume days, passionate nights. A lavender-scented diary of florid prose that describes Lady, out of its Wisteria or Visteria, Janet's brief but torrid affair with a young scapegrace named Enver Gortash. A typical excerpt reads as below.
Breathe.
When he held me in his burly yet tender arms, it was as if the years melted away, and I was once again the reigning debutante, the upper city soirees and cotillions. What matter if the diamond ring I gifted him, heirloom of the Janets for generations, was worth more than the value of the mansion?
If I'd have known there was
It
that
looked
much
so well
coin
glittering
back
on
here,
his
I'd have robbed
finger.
the place
I saw his
myself.
long, strong fingers, and his glowing smile as he slipped it on was worth a dozen mansions or more. Oh, I know what they mean. That's going to give him more potential damage. Looks pretty good too. Alright, so we did have a key for some of these. The lockpicking is so much more fun. Hey, the Nymph Cloak. Grants dominate person. The charmers, seducers, philanderers, flirts, gallants, beguilers, ravishers, rogues, tempters, and tantalizers of the Feywild all share one common trait. They make you feel as if you're the only diamond among the drift. Nymph Cloak was a cloak from Baldur's Gate 1?
These ledgers are never going to balance.
Or was it 2? Maybe both.
I'm a dead man.
A Spell Savant Amulet. Grants spell amplification.
My prayers weren't
You gain an
much
additional
bloody
level 2
use.
spell slot. When on the wrong side of a few sherries, the powerful wizards Bigby and Tensor would sometimes see how many spells they could fit into amulets like this one, before they burst.
How about this?
Alright, loading dock chest key. Don't need that anymore.
Breathe.
Palace Tactics Ultimate Trick Book.
Which bloody job?
A concise guide to winning at the card game Talus, including a robust appendix detailing methods of cheating. This latter appendix appears well thumbed, with certain specific methods starred or underlined. Letter from Lady Janeth. Glitterbeard. You will recall that I deposited a rather important ring in your vault for safekeeping. I may have been premature in locking it away, and have decided I'd rather keep it close. I'll be along tomorrow to retrieve it. Please have all the necessary arrangements made. Yours, etc., Lady Ferilia Janeth.
Wait a minute, though.
Let's hope for
Could shift
gold.
next year's interest to this year.
A detailed ledger.
Drama working in a bloody festival.
Seen that before.
So Minsk has
Tamora,
been
Lady Luck.
absolute.
Pretty sure I've read this as well.
There's something to this.
Yeah. Vault chest key. We've read that a long time ago. Read this as well. And that.
Bloody better not be coming out of my wages.
Well, my prayers weren't much bloody use.
Okay, this is new, it looks like. The Absolute End. Underneath this book concerning the cult of the Absolute and the dangers it presents, is scrawled this response to the text. This hastily written drivel is admittedly well-intentioned. Its author is clearly fizzing with fear of the Absolute. The problem is that they conflate the rise of the cult with other things like the heat death of the universe, the resurrection of one-eyed Vecna the Lich, the proliferation of necromantic excess, and even the withering of some imported fruits from Chult. This person needs a glass of water and a lie down.
Hells, if I'd have
No,
known
it's all a
this,
conspiracy, and only he can
I'd
see
have
it.
robbed the place myself.
Maybe Nina still needs a cracked skull. Best drama working in a bloody festival.
So Minsk has turned to the absolute. There's something to this place.
So I may not have read all of those Archduke pamphlets that we're picking up, but they all say the same thing with one different keyword.
Out of my wages.
Alright, shift log. Log of notes kept by those on duty in the vaults of the bank. They detail the comings and goings of any visitors to the vaults, including any deposits or withdrawals made. They use coded language to preserve some visitors' anonymity, but a recent entry seems pretty straightforward. A representative from the Tsar family visited the vaults in the late evening, depositing an unknown item. His behavior was unusual, and he responded to standard questions with shock and horror. I reported this strange behavior per protocol. I was told this was to be expected from the representatives of this particular client. No further questions were permitted.
Just breathe. Breathe. And switch bloody jobs.
I think this is new. Queen of Kingpins. Seems the Flaming Fist Mercenary Company has compiled a great deal of information on Nine Fingers and her crew, known as the Guild. Some heavy-named Tusgrunt guarding some entrance the Fist are intrigued by. In fact, a very detailed account of the Guild's muscle, and, you note, a tide of derision from the Fist. Evidently, they don't find Tusgrunt and criminals like him too bright. Not the sharpest scalpel in the surgeon kit. But Nine Fingers. I've heard they write in sullen, fearful tones. I don't know what it's about the word anonymity. Anonymity. It always throws me off, darn it. I can say it in casual conversation, but as soon as I see the word,
Maybe Nina still needs a crack skull.
it's all over for me.
Less drama working in a bloody festival.
So Minsk has turned to the absolute.
Lower City and Upper City. Yep, pretty sure we've read that as well.
All right, what now?
Alright, so it does look like we're done here now. We can finally pursue Minsk into the sewers. And again, I have a pretty good idea of where he's at. There's only one place we saw. Two places, but one of them had refugees there.
Wages.
The other one seemed more like a headquarters for the ballists.
Keep going.
So actually, we'll just go and fast travel to the sewers.
Whatever it takes.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
I guess I'm going to give her extra spells via an amulet. Might as well be this instead, right?
A little further.
If not over, then through.
That gives her two spells instead of just the one amulet that gives her just Edvard's black tentacles. Oh yeah, there's this sleeping tiefling down here. Still haven't found a quest or anything associated with him, so I'm gonna leave him be. I'm guessing this encounter will be a little easier since we cleared it out before. Oh, the Zentarum are here.
All the coin seems to be there, if a little blood-stained. You lot are enthusiastic about your lord's work.
Our Lady. We serve only the Absolute.
Oh, silly me. We Zentarim are so long past our own godly roots, I'm afraid I forget the half of them. But you, I know. When did you start worshipping gods? Did they give your wee rodent a worm friend too?
Rodent?
Enough! You will show the Stone Lord proper respect, and you will return to the Guildhall and do as we have paid you to.
Of course. I only thought...
Wait. Flop all you wish, little fish. But Minsk has caught you!
On that note, good luck. The job will be done by the time you get to the Guildhall.
Oh, just straight into combat.
Kill him! Find another way! Please!
Alright. Guess we'll start with that. Worth a shot.
There's blood in the air. To the death.
Well, that's fine too. Got trapped in the tunnel right now. Maybe instead of trying to knock him out, we could just go ahead and take out
Jaheira!
the other two enemies.
Evil, much uglier twin sister. Does not like this.
I wonder what happens if you kill Roa Moonglow back at the Goblin camp. Because we almost did that as well. I tried not to, which is why she's alive now.
Can you feel death's cold grip? Come on then.
Still at my feet.
There we go. Problem solved. Temple Trader's Key and Intricate Key. Breakthroat Glaive. We've seen this before. Armor Devotion. We sold that to her. I'm pretty sure, right? Cite your oath to regain 1 channel oath charge. Yeah. Selling gold bag. Yep, there's 10,000 gold. This bag is barely more than a sewn together old sheet, so worn that any snag could rip it.
With haste.
Wait, what? There we go.
Path lies before me.
Why go so far? Do so much to save my friend, only to cut him down. I cannot give you the death you deserve. Not without damning the city along with you, but I will not stay at your side a moment longer. Kill the Absolute. And should you die in the attempt, it would be a better end than you deserve.
What? I knocked him out.
Better make camp soon. Might be a while before there's another chance to rest.
Receive condition, knocked out, succumb to death. What? Alright, I'm gonna reload that. That's... no. Something messed up there. We're gonna redo this fight. That's... I don't save scum. Or I try really hard not to, but that... that's not how that was supposed to work out. It said he was knocked out and then he died. Let's try this again.
I've seen everything.
All the
We'll skip through all this again.
enough, of course.
Flop.
On that note.
Yeah, we'll try.
Jaheira! You have an evil, much uglier twin sister. Minsk does not like this.
Never a dull moment.
No! No!
I almost one-shot her. There we go. Alright, this time we'll be gathered around him. Because last time, I think, what happened is we were too far away when the cutscene was supposed to trigger. And it bugged it out. Yeah, here we go.
Against the darkness swarming his senses, a single light glows. Rage, flaring brighter every moment.
Killed her.
He won't stay down for long. Tell your Lilith to protect him from the Elder Brain's influence. Quickly!
No. This one will not aid our cause. Get rid of him.
Extend your protection to him.
Don't be foolish. He is too unpredictable. He will only be a hindrance to us.
His unpredictability saved the city before. We need him.
No. I will not be coerced into protecting him. You do not see what I do. His thoughts, his mind. Pure chaos.
The Mind Flare pours poison in your ear, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I will tear the prism from your grasp and throw it into the deepest lava pit I can find. Long after our bones are dust and ash, the walls of its prison will still be burning. Now help my friend!
She bluffs. Surely she would not risk the fate of all for one simple life.
It doesn't matter. Help him.
Fine. Have it your way.
His mind unfolds beneath yours. A still lake pulls you down into its depths. Images flash by, battles fought, and friends fallen. His rage grows colder, burrows deeper, as a familiar face crystallizes before you.
Jaheira. You killed her!
You are being dramatic.
The instant's hesitation is enough. With a sensation of terrible rending, something vast and nameless falls away from his mind.
There. It is done.
Jaheira? I do not understand.
Good. That means you're back to your old ways. We have a lot to discuss. But first, you have someone to thank.
In the sudden silence, your minds merge once more. More memories, sensations, but passing too quickly for you to track. In the same breath, you share everything that happened to you. The Nautiloid, the Absolute, the chosen of the Dead Three.
You saved Minsk. While he danced like a Mind Flayer's meat puppet. Why?
Because I'm infected too. I know your actions weren't your own.
A level head and a kind heart. It is well that Boo kept me from crushing either. I would be rid of this parasite. Minsk takes orders from only one tiny beast. and he is much cuter than any mind maggot. He is... he is... Where is he?
Hang on! Minsk is on his way!
Need to find a way forward.
I knew that wall. Okay.
A cracked wooden mask with female features in the Rashemi style.
Where are you? Squeak, so I might know you are well!
Yeah, we can interact with that wall before. I guess it was... had to be saved until his quest.
My friend, from our brief sharing of skulls, I know you have faced many strange beings, but none like this. Whatever happens, show no fear and stay your hand. Trust in Minsk.
I do trust you. I think.
Minsk finds that the less thinking he does, the easier the trusting comes. Wait! You gaze into Minsk's soul and see his foul crimes. You smell the stench of evil upon him, pointy claws primed, ready to scratch out his eyes. I am sorry, my friend. I am at the mercy of your faultless justice. Now, if you must burrow through my blackened heart, I am ready. No? You are certain? Oh, such boundless compassion. You are all heart. And whiskers. And cute little nose. You are right, of course. There is still much evil for Boo and Minsk to stamp out. But we need not fight it alone. I have a new face to show you. But it is not a villainous one for the clawing, understand? This is Boo. And Boo, meet you?
It is an honor.
No, it is a hamster. A miniature giant space hamster. Fear not, you will learn the difference in time. Those villains locked Boo away, lest his righteous gaze cause their tadpole to flee in terror. Now we are together again. All will be exactly as... Boo, why do you use such language? Once more, my hamster proves himself my greater half, and makes the path clear when my mind is fuzzier than his tiny bottom. He says we will join with you, and cleanse Baldur's gate of evil. Together!
Getting the posse back together. We've got Donald the Paladin, Jaheira, and Minsk. It would be an honor. Let's go.
You have a great many companions already. There is no room for little Boo, or slightly larger Minsk.
Why don't you wait at my camp instead? I have things to do.
Boo and I are most adept in the doing of things, but as you wish. To camp then! For his heroics here today, Boo has earned the most vigorous of back scratchings.
I'm curious if we should grab Minsk to come back and look at all this stuff. Also a wall here we could break down. Let's return to camp. We have a new companion, thanks to a single reload. Real quick, let's try red on Astarion. Gonna look at a couple. Ooh, white and scarlet might look good. He is a vampire, after all. So we've gone past it. Looks pretty good, but we'll try this one. It looks pretty good too. I think we'll stick with that.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
Yes? Oh, darling, I'm hurt. I thought we had something special. I guess I'll spend my evenings lounging here while you do all the hard work. It sounds awful.
What's on your mind?
Disappointed no one wants to talk about Minsk.
Hey, soldier.
Why is I didn't confirm that he's actually there? He is.
Right on my feet.
I think you might have made a terrible, terrible mistake. Huh? Chasing rumor halfway around the city and back. Crossing the guild. Wading through filth. Defying the one creature upon whom your very life depends. All for a madman and his rodent. The Absolute threatens thousands, the entire coast. And still you risked much to help one man. I should berate you, but I can only say thank you. Your reasons were your own. But whether you meant for it or not, your fight is our fight, huh? Both of us. To the very end.
Don't go getting sentimental on me now, Harper.
Ah, those misty eyes are just age. Yes, I feel myself growing older as we stand here. So, lead the way. We're yours to command. Yes?
Did you want something?
Let's talk. Oakfather preserve you.
A fine deed we have done to rid Faerun of this man. All helm hair and a haughtiness. Oh, this was the Lord Gortash we were sworn to do battle with, Boo. All the better then.
Do you remember why you were meeting with the Zentarum?
So dark an alliance sealed with Sentish contracts, cultish vows, and a dragon's shining horde. You think Minsk could forget? You are correct. I have no idea what any of that was about. But we shall simply... Gah! Boo! Why do you gnaw at my soft parts? I am trying to... Once again, in smaller words? I see. This truth you seek. Boo believes that Minsk is knowing more than Minsk knows. But it is a difficult thing. There are memories of this time that Minsk does not remember. And Boo suggests that, just as he helps with tricksome itches in awkward places, you must reach what Minsk cannot. The parasite. You can use it to tickle free whatever truth you seek.
There's no need for that. We'll find another way.
I do not often go against the advisings of my hamster, but as you wish. Perhaps you might speak to the corpses you left behind. I'm sure Boo can scare his soul back into it long enough to answer some questions.
You're quite quick to call me friend.
Of course, my friend. Or are we not friends?
Of course we're friends, friend.
Then you have a sword at your side and a hamster at hand, whenever you need them. Unless I die, or you die, or you do anything at all to upset Boo. Now, does Boo see a question in your eye, or just a parasite poking through?
Answer me honestly. What's with the hamster?
Well, Boo, explain yourself. Clear enough?
Perfectly.
Boo has a way with words that we lack. All that space in the cheeks, I am thinking.
Enough joking. Does the hamster actually speak to you?
There is nothing jestful in the bond between a ranger and his companion. Before Boo, I was a typical berserker of Rashomon. Duty-bound and full of my own seriousness. The problem with one so gazing of their navel, however, they are easily ambushed. Brigands split my skull like a sodden wineskin. It was as I recovered that Boo first appeared. He told me that I had felt the great poking finger of justice, marking Minsk as its champion and Boo as my guide. As for the headache, well, justice cannot always afford to be gentle.
So you're a paladin of justice.
Do not be ridiculous. If any of us is chosen by the gods, it is obviously Boo. Now, shall we away? My boots crave the crunch of unvirtuous nethers.
I'd like to know a little more about you.
There is more than a little to know, I think. I am huge.
Jaheira said he spent a century as a statue on the Wide. I'd like to hear about it.
Ah, you come in search of stories. It is not yet time to tuck Boo in for the night, but very well. After our adventurings with the Ballspawn, Boo had had his fill of godly flesh. So, we returned to Baldur's Gate for a time. After all, in every city there is a sweaty underbelly, crying out for a virtuous scrubbing. None better to wield the brush than Minsk and Boo. Perhaps we rubbed some villain's rump a little too raw. This Minsk does not know. One moment we stood in the city's slums, the next, ambush! Then Minsk and Boo woke on the Wide, with stone dust in sensitive places.
So that's how you became known as the Stone Lord.
Aha! Perhaps this is the reason, Boo. It is not because of the legendary thickness of my skull.
And you never saw who did it.
The mind of Minsk was occupied with important matters. I was browsing a slum vendor's stall, looking for Boo's favorite nuts. And then, I was stoned. For Minsk, those years passed as quick as a hiccup. It was long ago, then it is now.
You traveled 100 years in a moment. What do you make of this new world?
I do not like these metal men on the streets, or the villains who hide behind them. But the new world is not so different to the old one. The city still clings to the hill. The sea still stretches on forever. And the stench of evil still makes Boo wish for a tiny peg on his nose. As long as that stench remains, no matter how old or young the world is, Minsk and Boo will not rest.
Is it true you traveled with the ball spawn who saved Baldur's Gate?
Countless tales are told of Boo and Minsk. Many of them are so outlandish that even I do not know if they are true. Did Minsk bravely fend off the seductive vials of a succubus in the cloisters of Candlekeep? Maybe. Did he take a bath in the river Styx and temporarily forget himself? I do not remember. Did he travel with a spawn of the god of murder, who warred against his evil brethren and battled triumphantly at the throne of Baal itself? Of course! It was a splendid adventure.
How did you come to trust the spawn of such an evil god?
Oh, a curious question. Are a child and his father always alike? Take Minsk. He does not have a clear memory of the face of his father, but he does remember tugging on the thick, red whiskers that sprang from his chin. A beard for the ages. Who could have nested there happily through even the harshest of Rashomon winters? Now, look closely at Minsk, and what do you see?
A whole lot of muscle.
Well, yes, but also... Who is correct? No beard! There are more whiskers on his tiny face than on the mighty chin of Minsk. If Minsk did not inherit the flaming red hair of his mother, or the bushy red beard of his father, why would the spawn of Baal inherit his wickedness?
That's surprisingly insightful.
I have many more thoughts about beards to share. I did not know you cared to hear them.
When our minds mingled, I saw some strange things.
Well, the mind of Minsk is a simple place. Of what strangeness do you speak?
The memories resurface. A lifetime of battles blurring into one. A single constant is Minsk, launching into the fray no matter the foe, be they god, monster, or man. It seems just the barest glimpse of what the man before you has seen and done, but enough to know that he has no right to still be alive.
Ah, wait! That look in your eye. I know exactly what visions of Minsk you have seen to cause you such wonder. My pants. Thrice laced, in the Rashomon style, so that a berserker might split skulls without fear of splitting breeches too. They are fiendishly complex, but fear not for Minsk. With training, he has learned to master the many little knots.
Never mind your pants. You've walked between planes, fought gods.
Well, as have you, no? Do not forget that when you gaze into Minsk, Minsk also gazes into you. We both fight evil, wherever it is found. The who and where are less important than the hamsters you meet along the way. On this matter of sharing memories, I see no reason for us to worry at one another's worms. If there is more we wish to know, we can simply ask, no?
Of course. Warrior speaks their mind, instead of reading others.
Exactly so! If I must peer into the mind of my enemy, I use an axe. For friends, there is ale. No, my friend. If you fear you have a question that Minsk cannot answer, then you can simply ask Boo.
We ought to discuss the tadpole.
As you wish, but quietly. It is listening.
Do you know of a cure?
On this matter, I have held small council with Boo. If the worm is lodged within our skulls, should it not be possible to simply squeeze like so? Until something pops out. Pay that noise no mind. Boo has not feasted on evil's flesh in some time, and it has set his gut to bubbling.
So you have no ideas for a cure?
None at all. Though Boo is tiny. Perhaps he could just crawl into our ears and... You are right, Boo. A ridiculous notion. It would be far too dark to see.
Follow me.
Minsk shall be your shadow, as Boo is his. Fine lodgings you have found, my friend. Boo is already in negotiations with the guardian spirits of this place. In Baldur's Gate, they are likely to be rat-formed and eager to charge rent. But Boo shall secure safe slumber for all. Now, what do you need of Minsk? Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures.
Here we go. I'd like to know your thoughts on our companions.
You hear that, Boo? Your keen skills of observation have not gone unnoticed. Our friend wishes to consult your wisdom.
Actually, it really was your opinions I wanted, not the hamsters.
Minsk and Boo are of one mind and one heart. And Boo is the wiser. So small is Boo that he is often mistaken for a pinecone, and many secrets are spoken in his hearing. He will tell what he knows. But Minsk, of course, will translate.
Let's hear your thoughts on Astarion.
Oh, the pale scoundrel has his charms, it cannot be denied. But, my friend, it gives me no pleasure to tell you, Astarion is not what he claims to be. Just last night, Minsk was dressing one of his many heroic wounds in camp, when Astarion stumbled upon the scene. I tell you, he grew pale as death itself. He licked his lips and trembled so violently that Minsk thought he might faint on the spot. The truth is painful, but undeniable. Astarion is a coward. How can he fight the battles to come when he grows soft at the first sight of blood? Just one moment. You are sure? And you could not have told me this before? Minsk may have been mistaken. Boo presents compelling evidence that Astarion may in fact be a vampire.
That he is, but one of the good ones.
Minsk has met many vampires, and never one whose smile did not hide treacherous teeth. But, as you say, this world is a strange and wondrous place. Minsk has seen the soul of an angel in a child of Baal. Once, even a kind banker. If the sun can bear to look upon Astarion's monstrous face, then so can Minsk and Boo. For now, at least.
I'd like to hear your take on someone else. What about Will?
Make sure you are refreshed before we set out again, friend. The road to justice is paved with kicked buttocks. Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. Boo is ready with the musings.
So I guess we don't get dialogue about Will? Or Shadowheart, for that matter. You and Karlach must have a lot in common.
Indeed. a berserker after my own heart. Though hers is made of hellish heat, and metal, and some manner of coin-operated device.
Jealous?
I do not think so. Minsk has always been Minsk, except for the times he was Stone, or Stone Lord. Just as Karlak has always been Karlak. Even if all her parts were traded for tin and scrap, Minsk thinks this would still be so. And soon, Karlak will still be Karlak. But Karlak will also be cured.
You should tell Karlak you think so highly of her.
Pah! She knows. A warrior always knows. After all, do you not see the wicked gleam of wisdom in Minsk and Boo's own eyes? Make sure you are refreshed before we set out again, friend. Minsk is an open book. Boo is ready with the musings.
How are you and Gale getting along?
I do not wish to speak of the wizard. I could not have said it better myself.
Gale's great. What's your problem with him?
He came to me one night with a little book of mischief, full of words and their meanings. Posterior, he says. Can you say posterior? Pwah, I refused. Minsk does not need to know the language of wizards.
Posterior isn't wizard talk. It's another word for butt.
It is an inferior word. Far too long to use in a battle cry, which is where a butt belongs. Gale would do better to educate himself in the ways of sword and steel than to throw these pointy words at Minsk. Ah, yes. Gale also owns a cat. A cat with wings. That is most unnerving for poor Boo.
You should give him a break. He's only trying to help.
Never! If he is not careful, Boo will shred his books and use them as bedding.
Alright, just so it doesn't bug out.
Not minding is one of the many things Minsk is known for.
I'll reset the conversation. And talk about Halsin.
You will grow to like Jaheira's incense in time. Like chewing herbs and soap, yes? Minsk is an open book. Boo is ready with the musings.
What's the word on Halsin?
Who is Halsin?
The huge muscular elf.
Somehow, such a person as you describe has entirely escaped Minsk's notice. How strange.
Seriously? The druid. He's hard to miss.
Oh, the tiny, puny elf with leaves in his hair and dirt under his fingernails. His name is Halitosin. How very unfortunate.
You're both giant, hulking do-gooders. I thought you'd get along.
Pah! Minsk saw the druid chasing himself in circles and sniffing his own butt last night. He has spent too long as a wolf and not enough as a man. No, Boo! The druid did not beat Minsk at the arm wrestling. It was not a fair match, and he turned into an owlbear midway through, and there was grease on the tree stump. You will grow to like Jaheira's incense. Minsk is an open book. Boo is ready. You will grow to like Jaheira's incense in time.
Oh, so that's it for now. Let's talk to Halsin real quick.
Minsk has great heart. We shall need the likes of him for the trials to come.
Yes?
Let's talk.
Boo seems like a worthy addition to our group. His pet, Minsk, may prove useful also.
Alright, now people want to talk about Minsk.
ready and waiting.
Minsk just joined our team. This is the best day of my life.
Minsk seems quite the, enthusiastic ally. Would all do well to remain on his good side. And out of the range of his fists.
So, we can add one bald wall of muscle to our little group. I'm sure he'll come in handy. Maybe as a doorstop.
Let's take a look at Minsk. What do we have available? Well, first we need to do some reorganizing, I think. Alright, so he has True Strike, Find Familiar, and Find Familiar Boo. Summon your adorable, occasionally violent, and above all faithful companion, Boo. Oh, pretty good dexterity. Throw damage immunity. Creatures immune to being damaged by being thrown. Oh, is that how you're supposed to use them, is throw them? Interesting. Alright, let's level them up. Level 2 Ranger. No reason to swap him from Ranger, I don't think. Let's get a couple of spells. We'll focus on... Let's see. A Hunter's Mark is probably worth grabbing. We already have Longstrider on Jaheira. Yes, Goodberry. Because Minsk is good, right? I'll use 2-weapon fighting. No. He doesn't get two-handed fighting? Well, that's disappointing. I guess I'll just grab defense. I'm not going to dual wield with him. He's not going to use a one-handed weapon. He's not going to use a bow. In fact, I'm going to give him the sword of Baldur that my main character has equipped. Alright, we'll probably change that. So another 7 hit points, he gets a class feature, another spell slot. Alright, so Hunter is probably the best option, actually. Beastmaster, you foster an intelligent bond with a powerful beast that can aid you in and out of combat. Gloomstalker, emerging like a horrible gift from the envelope of darkness. I don't know why I can say that. In Shadow, you ambush and put down your foes before they can even scream. And Hunter, you see the most dangerous prey in Faerun, from ancient dragons to massive hordes of undead, and excel at slaying them all. Okay, then we get Hunter's Prey. You specialize in fighting specific threats. Choose one of the following features. Colossus Slayer. Once per turn, your weapon attacks deal an extra 1d8 damage if the target is below its hit point maximum. Giant Killer. If a large or bigger creature attacks you, you can use reaction to make a melee attack. Prerequisite, you must be able to see the creature and it must be within 5 feet of you. Horde Breaker. Target 2 creatures standing close to each other, attacking them in quick succession. How about a good Colossus Slayer? And a spell. Let's just grab Cure Wounds for right now. Alright, another 7 hit points, replace a spell, and a new feat. I'm gonna grab Dexterity over Strength. What the heck is that? Hold on. No, we have to respect that. That's
looking ahead.
That's inappropriate.
Fate, dost thou require a new ally? Sleep with one eye open, evil. Maybe both. I shall be here in my cap. As the...
Alright, let's try this again. So still be a ranger, of course. Shoot, did I...
Thou walkest alone. On all these heights. Love is no domain of mine. But it is often cited as the purpose. And thou...
Alright, it's an odd thing to talk to Minsk about.
Fate dost thou require as the...
Got to change these when I respect earlier. Alright, so ranger, favorite enemy, Oh, I like that. I think Mage Breaker is probably the most thematic for him, right? But Ranger Knight just gives him heavy armor and proficiency in history. Let's do Ranger Knight. So gets find familiar. You have sworn to serve a crown or nation and seek to bring its foes to ruins. Gain skill proficiency in history and armor proficiency with heavy armor. For Mage Breaker, you have a history of battling spellcasters, gain proficiency in Arcana, and can cast True Strike. Keeper of the Veil, you specialize in hunting creatures from other planes of existence, you gain proficiency in Arcana, and can cast protection from good and evil. Bounty Hunter, you gain proficiency in Investigation, creatures you hit with Ensnaring Strike, either ranged or melee, have disadvantage on their saving throw. And Sanctified Stalker, you swear to hunt the enemies of a holy or druidic order. You gain proficiency in Religion and can cast Sacred Flame. Studying the tactics and abilities of certain creatures has granted you a set of abilities that is useful in a variety of situations. So Magebreaker doesn't make a lot of sense because he would be proficient in Arcana, and the less spells he casts, I think the better as well, so... Alright, and the Natural Explorer. Years of traveling in the wild have made you particularly attuned to beasts or adept at surviving in certain environments. A Beast Tamer, you have cultivated a strong bond with animals. You can cast Find Familiar without expending a spell slot. Urban Tracker, an expert at navigating the wild within the city. You get proficiency in Sleight of Hand. Wasteland Wanderer Cold. You spend endless days surviving desolate tundras. You gain resistance to cold damage. Wasteland Wanderer Fire. You spend endless days surviving forbidding deserts. You gain resistance to fire damage. And Wasteland Wanderer Poison. You spend endless days surviving fetid swamps. You gain resistance to poison damage. I think fire, because Rashomon is more of a desert region, right? I actually have no idea. But we don't need Beast Tamer because he already has Boo. That doesn't take up a spell slot anyway. And here, let's fix this. There you go, that's far better. Alright. Let's try this again. Now he's getting 8 instead of 7 hit points. Cure Wounds and Goodberry. And still dueling. Disappointed they don't get two-handed fighting. Or great weapon fighting. Whatever the fighting style is called. So same stuff as before. Here we'll grab Hunter's Mark. Hunter itself is fine. Hunter's Prey, Colossus Slayer. Alright, then Athlete here, we'll put another point into Strength. It's rounded out at 18. Now, what do we get here? Spell slot. Yeah, 1 level 1 spell slot and 2 level 2 spell slots and extra attack. Let's grab Bark Skin for now. Okay, favorite enemy. Oh, we get more than one. Mage Breaker then, I guess. The Natural Explorer, we'll just go ahead and grab... I don't see us coming across a lot of cold damage, so maybe poison instead. Another spell, I guess Dark Vision, since he doesn't have it naturally. Defensive Tactics. Faced with enemies that can instill dread, attack in frenzied bursts, and swarm in great numbers, Rangers inevitably develop cunning methods of defense. We have Escape the Horde. Opportunity attacks against you have disadvantage. Steel Will. Your Unshakable Resolve grants you advantage on saving throws against being frightened. Multi-attack defense. When an enemy attacks you, they have a -4 penalty to additional attack rolls against you until the start of their next turn. I think Steel Will sounds the most thematic for Minsk, so we'll grab that. Another class feature, Land Stride, Difficult Terrain. You become an expert at moving through the wilderness. Difficult terrain no longer slows you down. And another feat, we're going to go with... Well, I could use a bonus to Constitution. Could do Resilient. Let's go do that and boost our Constitution by 1. Two level 3 spell slots. Let's do Speak with Animals. He's not going to be casting a lot in combat anyways. We'll just give him some utility spells for the side. Hide in Plain Sight. Camouflage yourself with your environment to become invisible and gain a +10 bonus to stealth checks as long as you stand still. Invisibility ends early if you move, attack, cast another spell, take an action, or take damage. Another favorite enemy. Let's do... Keeper of the Veil. You specialize in hunting creatures from other planes of existence. You gain proficiency in Arcana and can cast protection from evil and good. Natural Explorer, Wasteland Wanderer, Cold. So now he has resistance to 3 damage types, which makes him fairly tanky. Volley and Whirlwind Attack. A Whirlwind Attack, strike out at all nearby foes, making separate attack rolls against each target. Wonder... Level 11. That probably synchronized well with Paladin's Divine Smite, but... Let's grab a Lesser Restoration, I suppose. Level 12. Then we have to equip him, and we'll be all set. Level 3 spell slot, and a feat. Alright, so I can either go with a Savage Attacker, or Great Weapon Master. I'm going to go with the Great Weapon Master, I think. We know what all that does because my main character has it. Alright, let's get him equipped. So hold on to this for him. So gain a +2 bonus to attack rolls, initiative rolls, and perception checks. We could also give him the Circlet of Hunting, since he has Hunter's Mark. You get a plus 1d4 bonus to attack rolls against creatures marked by it. Or just a straight +2 bonus to attack rolls, initiative rolls, and perception checks. I'm going to go with that instead. And then cloaks. Let's go with that for now. I think Legacy of the Masters. To get a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls with weapons and strength saving throws +1. There's also that... Where are they at? There were gloves that gave a bonus to sword. I think it's attack rolls and damage with swords, but I think Lae'zel has it. I'm disappointed he didn't come with a Spider's Bane or some other reference to the first game. Yeah, let's go with Swarzy shoes. So jump distance is increased by 5 feet and acrobatics +1. Maybe the magic amulet, but let's see what else we have. It's also possible something that one of my other companions has I could equip on him instead. Let's see what other companions have. Where is the menu at? Oh, that's right. We don't have Lae'zel with us. Son of a gun. I think we'll give this to Minsk. Maybe not that. Yeah, she'll keep all of that stuff. Alright. I think all his stuff is for stealing. Probably do better for him as well, but not gonna worry about it right now. A bit more damage, and then I don't know. More damage if they're illuminated. It's pretty easy to do. Minsk's fantastical relaxation garb. To the metaphorical eye, an absolute fantasia of an outfit, claiming Minsk as a style icon without equal. To the literal eye, this is a belt buckle shirt pants combo. Minsk's underwear. Tight, aerodynamic, and built for maximum breathability. Humidity is no friend to hamsters. Fair enough. Alright, and he will have Baldur's Giant Slayer. My paladin will equip this hammer that we found. And then Minsk needs to go pick up the stuff out of here. And finish equipping himself. Alright, what do we have? We have Adamantine Splint Mail. Not that. Bided Time. Oh, he does get Illithid Protection, because he is infested with a tadpole. Dwarven Splint Mail, a little bit better armor class. How does it look? Different color might look good. Yeah, I had no idea that Rangers could get the, that Knight class feature. Lets them wear heavy armor. This whole time I expected he'd be in medium armor, but I'm excited he gets to wear heavy armor. And it's far better. I guess the Dwarven armor, right? And it gives him a bonus of Constitution, which is fine. We have more options here now, or is that... I think it's still everything. I think we'll give him the long arm with the Gur. Oh, he's too heavy for it, and Shadowheart has it equipped. While we're here, let's go ahead and change up the color of his armor. Probably not indigo. Alright, let's see what changes first. That looks pretty good, actually. Wouldn't mind changing the color of his boots, but... might just stick with this. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Alright. It's a little bland looking. We could probably mix it up with something else, but I might play around with it off camera and decide on a different dye. The game doesn't crash. Alright, let's rearrange this stuff real quick. Alright, and welcome Minsk to the team.
Never a dull moment.
I think we're all set now. Next time we'll head back to the sewers and finish exploring the rooms that Minsk opened for us. And, go from there. Yeah, pretty excited about this. Alright, I'm gonna call it here for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.